Good morning, viewers. I'm back again on the farm, and I want to show you how far we've come in our ginger cultivation for the year 2026. Sorry, I have a little issue with my frontal camera. I trust God to fix it soon so that you can see my face clearly going forward. So let's get right into the business of the day to save time. I'm back again on the field, and I'll be discussing some things, some of the experiences that I've had, since I planted this first batch of ginger on the 2nd of April 2026. Yes, so the day we planted, or before we planted, we had rain, the first rain on the 30th of March, and then we tilled the ground the following day. Then we came to the field on the 2nd of March to plant. And on that day, on the 2nd of March, we had rain during the planting process. Now, after planting, on the 2nd of April, after planting on the 3rd of April, we came to mulch. Now, after mulching, since the rain we experienced on the planting date, which is the 2nd of April, we've not had rain again until after 48 days. Yes, climate change is real. Climate change is real, I tell you. So we've not had rain until after 48 days, and a lot of things happened within that period. After planting, a few weeks after, I think about 2 weeks after, weeds began to emerge on the field. But we deliberately didn't want to take immediate action or actions so that the weed can be given sufficient time to develop, and at the emergence of the ginger, then we begin to apply measures that can curtail the growth of weeds on the farm. So what happened is we decided to spray herbicides on the 3rd week after planting. I have all these dates recorded. I just can't remember the dates right now, but then I have all the dates of these activities recorded. So after applying herbicides, I think a week after, we discovered that all the grasses or the weeds died, and then the ginger was already emerging. However, from that process, because there were weeds we didn't know, some of the ginger experienced burns from the herbicide applied. Sorry for the noise in the background. My neighbor's field is being plowed right now with a tractor, so the noise is coming from that tractor you're seeing. Apologies for that. So let's proceed. Some of the ginger or the ginger plants experienced burns from the applied herbicide, like you can see this now, especially the outer leaves, something like this. So, and then within that same period, there was no rain for this ginger to quickly recover from this experience that they had, or it had. And so, coupled with drought stress, this ginger suffered. It suffered, and at some point it began to turn yellow. Because I am 2 hours away from the farm, I asked my younger brother to inspect the condition and then to give me feedback on what is happening. And so he sent me certain pictures. I hope to attach some of the images when it's time for me to do a quick edit on this video so that you can have a good watch. Then you understand what I'm trying to talk about. So after he sent me pictures, and I discovered that some of them were already looking yellowish. Now they were struggling or battling drought. Yes, climate change is real. So after planting, there was no rain for 48 days until on the 19th or so of May, I think, which is the 48th day, on a Tuesday, and then there was rain, and after that there was rain, and then there was rain again. So I inquired from him, how far, what's the condition of the ginger, are they still looking yellow? And then he said they are already changing color. That is to tell you that they were suffering from lack of water, and also trying to battle with the experience they had with the herbicide. So thank God for the rains. The rains have returned, and there will be consistent rainfall going forward according to weather forecast. Why did I share all these things? I learned something very powerful during this experience. Terrible experience, but I learned a very valuable lesson. Now, mulching is very important for your ginger farm. Very, very important. It is non-negotiable, especially if you want to be among those who plant first, because it is a huge advantage when you plant ginger first. Now, what happened is that we didn't really take time to mulch because we didn't have straw. What we used were just leaves. You can see some of the branches, and if you look closely, you see the gingers are growing amongst the branches. Of course, we will soon take them out. I've already started that process. You can see that I'm dropping some of them by the side of the field. We didn't carefully mulch, and so the ground became hard, and then the sun was also harsh. If we had properly mulched during that drought period, that 48 day period where there was no rain, the mulching would have helped to conserve soil moisture, which will still make the environment very suitable for the ginger to sprout without difficulty. That would have made it easier for the ginger to sprout without difficulty. However, that was not done, and so they suffered. The ginger really suffered. The ginger really suffered. Yes. However, it is doing very well at the moment, and we give praise to God who has made this possible. Sorry, I've been at the spot for a while, and that is because I want to speak properly so that you understand what I'm saying. So the ginger is already sprouting. On that other side is the second batch, and I dug a little. If you see that place, I had to dig to see or to check the progress of the second batch, and they are already germinating. They will soon shoot out. However, I'm going to give them time also, so that the weeds will, attempt to overtake and then take the weeds down. And then when the weeds are going down and dying, the ginger will now sprout, and then before you know it, it will cover the place or form a canopy, which will make it difficult for weeds to thrive on the field. So mulching is vital and very important. One of the lessons I learned during this enterprise or engagement is that it is important to properly mulch. Now, ensure you secure your mulching materials beforehand. You can use rice straws, or you can cut grasses and allow them dry, but then you can use leaves too. However, it is it is a Herculean task to use leaves, because when you cut leaves, you might think you have sufficient leaves, and after placing them, you will discover that the leaves are insufficient for the field. So it is important to secure your mulching materials ahead of time. You can also use rice husk to mulch. You can use sawdust to mulch. So these are some of the mulching materials that are very important for mulching. So I learned it is important for you to mulch, so that during that period where the rains are away, your mulching will preserve your ginger, will preserve moisture. Yes, it will preserve moisture and allow the ginger to do what? To sprout under that suitable condition. And another very important thing that mulching does is that it keeps grasses away. If the soil is properly covered, the grasses will not be able to emerge, but the ginger will emerge because it grows and emerges like a spear, from the ground. It comes like a spear, and then when it comes out, that is when it opens wide. The leaves open like you see, and they are still growing, and they will open even wider. So this is the progress report so far. Now I'm on the farm. I want to address an issue. What is the issue? These guys have suffered drought, and I need them to do what? To recover quickly. So I want to help them. I have a liquid fertilizer, a foliar fertilizer called Super Grow that I'll be applying on the field. So my liquid fertilizer is there, my bag is there, and even my fungicide and other things are there. Yes, you can see that there are other crops on the field, melon, granite, and so on. So I am here for this very function. First off, I'll be taking out some of these stalks, because the leaves have shedded off already. They've been here for over a month, so I'll be taking them out so that the field can lay plain, and even look attractive to the eyes, and allow the ginger to continue emerging and continue growing without obstruction. So I'll be taking these things out of the field. Now after that, I'm going to begin some picking, because I'm already sighting some weeds. You can see that particular weed there, so I'll ensure I begin picking them out, and then after that, then I'm going to spray the liquid fertilizer. The liquid fertilizer is, I'm going to spray it in a little quantity to help them, you know, absorb and then recover quickly. Then give them a week or two before I then begin proper fertilizer application. And NPK 15-15-15 is the recommended fertilizer for ginger. So if you have questions, please drop your questions in the comments section. At the moment, I would love to be excused so that I can proceed with the work at hand. So this is the progress report so far. This is now the maintenance stage. This is the maintenance stage. So yes, our ginger is looking good. What do you think? I think they are looking good. They are looking good, and they will do very well because I am really going to give them my utmost attention so that you know, they can do well. By the way, this is just 1.5 bags, and the essence is to multiply my seeds for the next planting season. The Nigerian ginger has suffered so much. In fact, we suffered a huge blow due to a fungal attack. However, I'm putting certain measures in place and trusting God to combat, you know, preventatively now, or preventively, these diseases rather than curing. So I wouldn't want them to attack my field or my farm before I begin to take action. So yes, our ginger is doing very well. Very well. The colors have changed. They are beginning to look greenish because the rains are back, and the rain helps to dissolve, you know, nutrients, or yes, so that they can absorb using their roots. If there's no rain, the nutrients in the soil are useless to and for the plant. The plant cannot make use of the nutrients. So I'll proceed now. Once I'm done, I'll take a video also to show you how the field looks after this wood has been taken off. And also during the application process, well, I'm going to put that in another video so that the video does not become too long. And I want to thank those who have engaged my videos in the past. Please keep it up, and if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to encourage me to keep making videos. And if you want videos on how to cultivate melon or how to cultivate granite, that can be done. If you want videos on how to cultivate yam also, that can be done. Thank you so much for following. Do enjoy yourselves.